WCEG Tal Radio. I'm so happy today. This is a new year for everybody. I hope you have the wonderful year and you can fix things and you can start things. So remember WCEG, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and you also can connect to your Apple Store to get the app and Smart TV. And if you want to support WCEG, go to wceg.com and you can find variety of programs, subjects, but also have opportunity to support this platform that work for the community. Thank you so much. And we have Roxane Jett. She's our guest for today. And I have been thinking on her since last year. I think 1 year, 2 years. She started a project and she's gonna be talking about that to us. Roxane, thank you so much for being here. Please telling us a little bit about you and how you start this project.
Yes, thank you so much, Ramona, for having me on today. Well, one of the things about this project, it started out with the fact of wanting to leave a legacy for my grandkids. My grandkids were brought into this world during a rough time, which was COVID. And that's Leo and Marley. Oh, they are so adorable. But during this time, I started thinking, well, I don't have the income to leave something behind so that they can know their Nana and remember me as they get older, or something that they can then pass on to their children. And so I started thinking about with the writing a story. And I was blessed to receive that story in my mind. And I sat down and I wrote it out and revised and wrote it out. And now I didn't do this on my own, but the initial stage was just with me and having that time with my Heavenly Father and just giving me guidance with it. And from there, I knew that I definitely wanted to do this. And one of the things that really stood out, I realized with the phone, we lean to that for everything nowadays. And I thought about a woman mentioning to her child, go and get me the book so I can read to you. And the child then goes and picks up the cell phone. No books, but they pick up a cell phone, the technology. And it's like, how do we get back to building that foundation within our children of today? How do we make that difference? And so that's where Leo, the rising leader, change agent of the little thing, was birthed, in wanting to bring change for the little ones.
That is very impressive because it's true what you is telling that now our children live with the tablet, with the telephone, in the computer. Everywhere is used technology that call attention to children, but and books and notebooks are left behind. And how important is to not let that part go and disappear. And teach our children that we have other materials and not only computer, not only technology, you know, and that is so nice. That is very nice. And Roxane, I know you also very active in the community. And what beside that, leave the legacy, because I have seen you very active, you know, going to the schools, going to readings, promoting your book. What is that other part for the book, for the community?
Yes, well, I was blessed to be able to do my very first reading in October at the Loving Care Daycare Center. And my next venture is to go to the children's shelter, one of the things that, which I didn't know that they require, is you have to go through like a full-fledged background check. That's a lot of things when, for other authors that are getting out there, especially when you're dealing with the children nowadays, they want you to do that background check. They want you to go and get that fingerprinting done. Because if you're going to be in the school systems or in the daycare centers or even in the shelters, although you're volunteering your time and service, they still want to make sure that you're not going to bring any hurt or harm or anything to the children that are there. And but I'm happy about that, because that's just like a reassurance for parents to know that when you have the children authors coming into the schools or into the shelter or into the daycare centers, that you know that it's someone that can be trusted. And that's one of the things with just giving back that I'm hoping to do with the book, is to be able to go and be able to just spread the message to young ones. Because you see the news. When you see the news, that's important. The news is important. That's a venue of getting messages out. But a lot of times on the news, when you look at it, it may be a negative perspective. With me getting out here with the book, I want to be able to bring a positive perspective to young people, and not just to the young, but to the community. It used to be a time when people, they worked together in the community. They would help one another. If you didn't have food, you would have those that would say, let me take something from my house and bless you. You had those when, if you saw a child acting up, even though the kids didn't like it, but you would see where they would say, no, don't do that. I'm going to tell your parents. But everybody stuck together. It was a network it was a family. That's what community was. That's what I want to bring back with this book. Bringing the community, bringing the youth, bringing the parents all together. And it starts with just the little things. We can't do it all, but if one person is doing this and another is doing something else on the other end, it makes a difference. We're all filling the bucket. We're all filling in the gap. We're coming together as a team. With Leo and Marley, they're seeing that on their adventure as they begin to rise up, as they begin to work together in this story. As parents, as people within the community, when we work with our youth, then we begin to change that narrative to say, you can be the difference. You're starting with them. You're going to sow that seed into our young people so that they know that they too can be empowered to do great things in the world. But we have to help them. This is my way of helping them. Not only my grandkids, but then all of the children. This is my way of just giving back.
That's so nice, and it's great, and it's true, everything you said. We can see bad things happen around children that are not our children, but that probably, in their mind, they would be thank a advice for other person, an advice and attention for other person that is not parents or any other relatives. Is how at least in my times we grow, just listening others and receiving advice for others, and looking things for others, the good and bad, and stop doing it or keep choosing another way. And it's amazing the focus you have, the purpose you have with your book, and the work you do in these places where, yeah, it's true, it's not easy to enter because you have to keep the integrity of the children. And especially right now where there, unfortunately, there are people who don't care about children, who don't are looking to damage children. So thank you for the effort you do, because I know got a check background is not easy and it's not free. So all of that, is valuable. And I want to cover another part. There are so many people right now, through the years, it has been emerged a lot authors, a lot persons that are new in this journey of writing books. How was the process on that? Because I know, as an author, you struggle choosing the publisher, you struggle choosing the persons that are gonna be contributing in your job. How was for you that part?
Well, with the writing, it wasn't really hard. Well, that was only in the sense that it's like I feel like the Lord just blessed me with a story in my mind. And that's one of the things when you begin to be in your purpose, you will be blessed with these different things. Because if you think about it, we all have a story to tell. We just may not know how to frame it. It's like a lot of times, just like you have that picture frame, it's a picture that you can put in that frame. But then if it's a certain size, it may not fit in the parameters of that frame. And so when you are writing your story, you have to think about your why. I'm gonna give you like 3 W's to think about when you're going through the process of your story, because you have to look at your why, you have to look at what, and then you have to look at work. When we start breaking that down, going back to the why are you writing this story? What is your reason behind the story? And then are you willing to put in the work for this story? So when you get ready and you're thinking of those 3 W's, right? When you go to your why, you will begin to have a self-awareness of knowing, do I really think that this is something that others are willing to back up or are willing to pay for? What is it worth to others? And it's sad to say that you have to think in your mind, that you have to think of a value of it, because it's like, it's your story. It's important to you. But you will have to do that when you're thinking of that story that you want to be able to tell to others. Now, one of the things of what I use, I went right through KDP. That's the Kindle distribution publishing, but it's right through Amazon. I use that platform because it was easier than trying to get a publisher. Because when you're going through a publisher, you're writing your different drafts, and that's something that they either accept or may not accept. It's really hard. Trying to get accepted through a publisher, that's very difficult, especially if you're not known or if you don't already have a particular fan base. With Amazon, the KDP, that allows you to self-publish. And with that, you can do it in 3 different formats. You can do it in the e format. You can do it where that's with your ebook. You can do it with the paper, the softback, or you can do it in like the hardback format. One of the things that I ran into, oh my goodness, is, like I said, it was easier for me in writing up the story, and then I had to have someone. My daughter, she was really good with the proofreading, so she went through and she did all of the proofreading. That's another thing you want to make sure, because when you're doing your writing, you need to have somebody to proof it. Make sure to check those edits, because that's your product. If you're going to put it out there, you want to make sure that everything is on point with that. But then Amazon, they have it set up where they want you to have it in a particular format. So now they do have some tutorials on their site. Okay, with me, I wasn't getting it. As I would submit, now this is something that you do need to know, definitely, because when I would submit my format in there with the ebooks, you can do that in a Word document format. That's fine. But when you get ready for your paperback, with that, you need to have it within certain dimensions. You need to have it where you have to think about the formatting. You have to think about the bleeding, where it's not going over the margins. These are so many things to think about. However, don't give up. Don't, allow those obstacles to stop you if you have your story that you want to tell. Fervor, that's one of the apps that I use, where I could hire someone to do the formatting for me. I was so happy at that, because 6 times Amazon kicked it back when I tried to do it myself. I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, I tried that, and I realized, I said, okay, Roxane, that is not your expertise. So let's get someone else that knows how to do that to do that. And so that's what I had to do in order to get everything set up. But then I had to also do my research for an illustrator. Now, if you know how to do your drawing or different things like that, or you have like a particular app or software program, you can do your own illustrations. And some people, they are heavily into using AI, the artificial intelligence, or chat GPT. They're using different things like that. If you're using that, then you're supposed to also let Amazon know that they have a feature for that, whereas you would need to let them know if you're using AI. For me, I did not use that. This was just what I wrote out, and I had to hire an illustrator because, again, that's not my talent. With some things, you will have to be able to get help. You want to get that, because that, again, that's your product. You're looking at, why am I doing this? If it's really important to you, you want your final product to look its best. That's within your budget, because it can become really expensive depending upon who you hire to assist you. But further, that is a good avenue, where they have so many freelancers from different countries, so many different skill sets that can assist you with your journey if this is what you want to do. And that's how I end up getting my finished product.
It's a long and complex process, but it works when you see all finished and when you see the response for your product are out. It works.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Roxane, can you repeat the three words, the three W?
Yes, your why, your what, and work.
That's very nice and very true. Every process, I think every process in life, but specifically when you really found the purpose, because everybody have uh, a lot of purposes in life. One of the main, I think, unfortunately, but it's necessary to live is work. Focusing what you're gonna do when you going to school, what's gonna be your skill, and where you're gonna put your attention, attention. But in as the life is passing, you find your real purpose. That is when you already have been learning, when you already feel that is something that you still need to do. You still need to put out. You have that energy or really spiritual personal purpose to do something, another big purpose in life. So this I advise to all the authors and all the people that is outside planning to do a book or write down a story, just to review this and put attention before you begin. And it is true, it's a very very complicated process, because in myself, thanks God, I have a guide for a person we all know, Pamela Mansfield, and I'm thankful with her because she guided me through the work to do it. But with the time discovering so many process, so many companies, so many ways to do it, it's just amazing, for those persons who wants to start this journey as an author. But it's good. So I would like you tell me, what was the reaction for your family when you tell them, I'm thinking on this, and I think I'm gonna start doing it. What was the reaction? What they told you? Because I still remember the reaction from my family.
Oh goodness. I know with my daughter, when I mentioned that, when I first mentioned that to her, she said, "Oh, no, just let me see the product, because you may say you're going to do it, and then you may change your mind." And I was like, "Oh no, I'm going to do this because I got this story. I received this story, and I'm just going to do it." And it's like, "Oh, okay, well, just let me see it when you finish." And then my husband was like, "Oh, well, that's good." He said, "That's good." Yeah, and with my sons, they were like, "Oh, that's good, Mama." But everyone was behind me, but my daughter, she was just more like, "Let me see it," because a lot of times, yeah, we can say we want to do it. You know how they said, the saying, what they said, almost like faith without works is dead. It's like you can say you want something, but then you don't really do it. You don't put the work in behind that. It's kind of like with that, I think, because you may just say you want something, but you don't really want it because you're not willing to put that work in. Yeah, so I had to just do it. I said, okay, in order for her to believe, I need to just do it. I can't talk about it. I have to be about it. So I think that's the thing. It's not just talking about it. That's like what I was saying, that my theme for this year even is the KD theme. Knowing and doing are two different things. because you can know something, but if you don't put the action of doing it, it's just there. It's just there in your mind. You know it. You know you have a desire to do this thing. This is 2024. This is a new year. You know all of these things, but what are you going to do about it? You can see a problem all day long, but what are you going to do? What is your solution? What are you going to do about it? We
Yeah.
need the KD point of view.
That's great. And it's true. Many of us, I'm including, we just thinking and we have the idea, you sitting in there and, for some reason, for another reason, we just don't start it. But yes, we need to continue. And that is amazing, and that, because I know Chacha, right? Dora. Yeah, Chacha is very strong character. So I think she used one was pushing you in some way. Okay, show me.
Yes.
Yeah, that is so nice. And I see the poster and your t-shirt, but can you hold your book so everybody can see the book? And also, it's so beautiful. So can you tell me a little the name of the book and also where people can find it and how people can contact with you?
Yes. Well, the name of the book is Leo, the Rising Leader, Change Agent of the Little Things. And they can find it at www.amazon.com. And it's a link on Amazon where you can follow the author. And then they can just click on that link and it will allow you to be able to see all of my updates. Anything that I have new coming out, it will be listed on that Amazon app. Then also, I will be having a new website that's in construction. So once I get that website, I have to figure out how to get it connected on the Amazon site. But for now, you can just click on that right on Amazon. When you go in there to do the ordering, you can click right where it has follow the author.
That is so nice. And well, I know, it's very complicated, write down and everything, but if you have opportunity, you can put the link or, on the comments when this go, well, we are alive, but when we finish the program, you can put the link and the website so people, can check up this job. And Roxane, what is, I know there is so many projects for coming and a lot, but what are the future projects you are planning to continue the story?
Yes. Well, I do plan on, I've been given the thought of another story that I have in mind. But that's going to be a little secret with that portion, but I definitely will keep everybody up to date. My future things is I do want to be able to expand more into the school system. That's my net. Once they complete the background check, because they started that in January, and the representative did mention it takes some time to get everything in order with the background check. So once they complete that, then I plan on trying to expand my reading into the school system.
Okay, that's nice. And for everybody don't know, because sometimes we don't talk so much about things, or many people don't know us or our job, but Sherry, her sister Roxane, the Chacha, for sometimes they were my student, they were learning Spanish. How is that part, Roxane?
Ooh, I have to I've been slack with my Spanish. Sherry, she's been steady with it. Cha Cha, she's been working on her. She works on her Spanish every day. I've gotten a little slack. I have to.
But it's good, you having working. I know you having working on other things, but it's how life pass. And I just wanted to bring this because besides all of the projects and everything, there are parts that you have been done, you have been paused for some reason. You have to develop another other part of your life, and this is the result, and that is so nice. Yeah. So Amy, in the community, working in the community, what are, because I know you're very active, you have been involved in some other activities?
Yes. Well, I do work with one of the groups that I work with is WRI. It's a women's resource nonprofit that I work with, because they go out, they do a number of things. One is to help women, to help the children. They do going out to feed the homeless. They do with back to school drives for Thanksgiving, drives at Christmas time, and just steadily giving back to the community, teachings, different things, are trying to help women to become familiar if they want to start their own business, different resources like this that normally it would cost you so much money to try to get information. But this is one of the things that they do, that they give this resource to the community. They're that helping source. So I work with them, and one of the things I do a lot of, which you have to pace yourself with that. I'm really big at giving to the Red Cross, making donations with that. My father was a super donor. I finally got my pen for my first gallon and working towards my second gallon. And I feel really deeply about this. I'm just going to give y'all just a little backdrop, because my son, he was hit by a car when he was 5 years old. He suffered brain damage, and he was lying on that stretcher, that table, where the doctor was like, he looking at him as if he wasn't going to make it. Well, one of the things he had to have, American Red Cross, I'm so grateful for them, because he had to have 3 blood transfusions. I have to be like, with that, the fact that seeing his little body laid out during that time, I have to give back to them, because he may not have been here. So that's one of the things that I roll up my sleeves and let them go ahead. They say, with one donation of blood, it helps save the lives of 3. And I am a true testament that it helped to save his life on that day, back in October during that time. And so, yes, that's one of the things. But my parents, they taught us at a very young age to give back. My mom didn't have a lot, but we will always be out there fixing the sandwiches, doing different things like that to help the homeless. And I'm forever grateful. It's when you're blessed along this journey, you have to be able to think. I would hope a lot of us would have the mentality, or think about, as you're blessed, you reach back and bless someone else. And that's what I try to do on a day-to-day, is as I continue to grow, I want to steadily reach back and help somebody else. As this book, even as I'm able to reach out and touch the lives of other people, I want to reach back and be able to let somebody else know, well, this is how I did the process. Or these are things that you need to do, and these are things that you don't need to do. I want to be blessed to be a blessing. And I hope in this year that we all can be able to be a blessing. Open up that door to be a blessing to someone else. Let this journey not be just about you, but open it up to help others. And that's what I plan on doing.
That is amazing. And thank you for that, Roxane. I think hopefully, and I pray to God that because we are so many people wishing the same, that the world can back a little bit more comprehensive, more humble with others, and just help others, back to help others, because it's very true. Many people don't want to help you. Many people just stay quiet and don't educate you, don't teach you. And hopefully, hopefully our contribution, because I'm in there trying to help and trying to make difference. More people can become a blessed, can become a teacher, can become a good person for someone, yeah. So I have to ask you, working with children, I know right now you don't have that open work with children, but in your opinion, how receptive are the children? Because I know, I have seen when I take my granddaughter to the doctor, or I go into the stores, everywhere you can see children like 1 year, 2 years with the tablet or the telephone. How receptive they are in the schools, or with your friends. You can see this, or with your circle around. How receptive they are.
Yeah, one of the things what I'm learning, and I guess I've seen it from my background when I used to, years ago, back in my younger years, I used to go to the different churches with one of my church members, and I wouldn't read stories, but I would become the story.
Mm.
And in becoming the story, the little kids, I would, based upon, you have to kind of gauge if the children are really hyperactive, or if they are more calm, or different things. So you have to gauge how you are going to present your story. One of the things, when I did my very first reading, I saw that, okay, I'm going to have to engage them and bring them into it. And so that's one, because a lot of times, again, going back to with the phone, and like you were saying, with the tablets, with all of this technology, you have to find a way of reaching the child. You have to become at their level. You can't be up here and expect for them to listen. So that's one of the things that I've learned over the years, is if I have to wear the bright colors, because a lot of kids, they're visual. They're looking at those tablets. So how do we bring that outside the technology? Then for me, it's like in bringing the color. You see how I got they say, my sister said the Wonder Woman. Yeah. And so it's like you have to have different things that will gauge their attention. And then it's like, if it means where you have to get down, bring yourself, even when you're reading the stories or when you're animating the stories, if you have to come bring yourself down to their level so they can see you right there. They need to see, sometimes some kids need to see you eye to eye. And some you can be up here. and you just using that whole space to say, hey, I'm here. Come on, let's go on this story. This is an adventure that you have to see. And that's what you want to do. You bring them into whatever space that you want, because this is something that you need to hear. And sometimes it means bringing your voice down low. And sometimes it means bringing it up. Sometimes you have to stand it. And so
That is so great. You know, I would like to see you in action. Because you know the voice, the presenting, and you know the manner really, because I feel the difficult audience is the children to dominate, to call the attention, to engage them, to, you know, used to make them imagine and dream and fly and you know, all of that is happening on the story. Is a lot. It's a gift for a person who can do that, you know, with children. So you are great. So I'm going to translate a little bit. You know, I'm going to introduce you to our Hispanic Latin community, your project. You and while I'm doing this, can you write down the link or your book, the name of your book, and also you already have set up or the website and the information so people can go and check the book and also contact you. But thank you, Roxane, again, because, you know, I'm very proud of you. I know, you know, we all work so hard for something. But for many people through the years, talking with people, talking with, you know, our guests in WCEG, the thing is that people in ages like us, young people, are still looking for the purpose, and they have so many gifts and they cannot see it. It's not easy to find really your real purpose or something that the purpose that make you happy in life. That is, it cannot be, you know, have a product and make money. No, it's just the happiness, the happiness that comes to you to put out and be able to talk about it and be able to provide to people. And I see you not only promoting your book, you're not only helping the children with your book, but also helping other people, telling the process on how to do it, how, you know, the hard work that have this process and the options authors have. So it's amazing, and thank you for that. So I'm gonna translate in Spanish, and while you write down in the in our platform, okay? So, buenos días a todos. Muchas gracias y feliz año nuevo otra vez por estar con nosotros en WCEG. Y recuerden, somos una plataforma para la comunidad hispana, la comunidad latina, la comunidad americana, todas nuestras comunidades. Y ahora tengo el gusto de presentar a Roxane Jett. Ella es una autora de un libro para niños. El propósito de ella escribir este libro fue dejar un legado a su familia, dejar el legado para sus nietos y su familia por venir, de lo que ella fue, de lo que ella hizo, de su interés, de su propósito que ella tiene con este libro, este material. El proceso fue difícil. Ella nos deja saber que ella lo hizo por medio de una plataforma, Amazon. Ellos tienen una aplicación donde pueden escribir los autores, pero es un proceso complicado y ella decidió traer a expertos que le ayudaran para editar, para poner en la plataforma su producto, sus escritos, Y pues esto nos da a saber que no importa a qué edad, no importa el motivo, pero si encuentras el propósito en la vida, puedes hacer muchas cosas y estoy asombrada con ella. Ella fue una de mis estudiantes no soy buena en tiempo, pero a lo mejor como 2, 3 años, más o menos, estudiando español en las librerías públicas, y su hermana también estuvo conmigo, su hija también estuvo conmigo. Ella tiene una vida muy interesante y estoy muy orgullosa de ella porque este trabajo no ha sido fácil y pues para nadie es fácil, pero otra vez se demuestra que a la edad que tú tengas, el sueño que tú tengas, por más loco que parezca, no es loco, lo puedes hacer, pero tienes que dedicar tiempo, tienes que enfocarte en tu propósito. Y pues el libro de ella se trata sobre la vida bueno, está basado en sus nietos, está basado en su hija, y su hija fue como ella dice, me platica que cuando ella vino con la idea de hacer un libro, les dejó saber a su familia, pero su hija solo dijo: enséñame el producto, enséñame el libro", porque ella no lo creía, y creo que a la mayoría de nuestras familias, cuando venimos con esas ideas, porque es nuevo, porque es algo que en nuestra mente solo lo vemos lejano en personas muy grandes, importantes, no lo creemos, no nos cabe en la cabeza que una persona, mi mamá, mi papá, mi hermano, puedan hacer eso. Y su hija estaba escéptica, y le dijo: muéstrame el libro, muéstrame tu trabajo. Y cuando eso fue un empujón y a lo mejor indirecto, un empujón de no creerlo, pero empezó y lo hizo, y ahora ella está promocionando su libro, está ayudando a otras personas también con la historia, está involucrándose en la educación de niños en la escuela, tiene proyectos muy bonitos. Es un proceso difícil siempre entrar en el campo infantil, pero ella lo está logrando, está trabajando muy fuerte para hacerlo. Ojalá ustedes pudieran seguirla en Facebook, está como Roxane Jett, y ojalá puedan seguirla, ojalá puedan revisar su trabajo, ojalá puedan estar en contacto con ella en la plataforma de Amazon, pueden entrar, buscarla, Roxane Jett, y pues descubrir una nueva historia y descubrir un nuevo propósito, y es importante. Entonces, me dirijo a nuestra audiencia hispana latina, que este 2024 ojalá puedan muchos de ustedes, de todos nosotros, seguir descubriendo nuestros propósitos para hacerlo. Mucha salud, mucha prosperidad, muchos buenos deseos para todos allá afuera, y ojalá que sigan en sintonía con WCEG Network para más proyectos. Acuérdense que nos pueden ver en Facebook, en Instagram, en YouTube, y no solo es nuestro lugar bilingüe, sino también hay otras estaciones donde pueden encontrar muchísima información. Entren en la página oficial de WCEG Network, allí van a encontrar otros programas, y créanme, cada programa puede encontrar un tipo de ayuda, un tipo de inspiración para todo. Y pues les agradezco que estén con nosotros en sintonía, y pues vamos a seguir platicando con Roxana, pero les deseo lo mejor este 2024. Vienen nuevas cosas para todos nosotros, vienen nuevos procesos, cambios de vida, y ojalá tengan la fe principalmente de seguir adelante en su vida personal, en su vida profesional, y pues sigan comunicando con nosotros, sigan dejándonos saber sus opiniones, sus sugerencias, o si alguien quisiera venir de invitado, pues déjenos saber y podemos poner en contacto para hacer de esto algo más grande para todos nosotros. Gracias. Bueno, buenas tardes y pues buenos días, todavía es temprano, pero nos vemos la siguiente el siguiente programa. Roxie, well, and can you, what is the advice you gave to the community? You gave to moms, parents, for this 2024?
Is let's get back to some of the old ways.
Yeah, that is very true. And what is your opinion, Roxie? Because I know many people, me including, is just talking about, this world is changing so much, bringing new costume, bringing new, and rejecting all customs and all traditions. How is your perception on, how actively out parents or young people is trying to change all of this and bring back that way of living?
Yeah, well, it's like with the technology, we've let it kind of take control. And I remember at a time when, say, like I used to remember phone numbers. And somebody asked me, if someone asked me, oh, what's such and such number, or call that number, it's like, oh my goodness, I don't even remember. What is your number? Because it's in the cell phone. And so now a lot of the, I would say, the memory, it's no longer there to remember certain things because technology has taken over. So we do have to, in order to, I would say, get back a portion of ourselves and not have technology to take total control, we have to do little things like this, is with the reading, taking that time out, because a lot of times I think you have more of a bond with your children when you're not just giving them the phone or giving them the tablet, but you're actually taking time out to show them the pictures, to read to them, to spend that time with them, not having them to just have the technology as the babysitter, maybe some of the
Yeah,
time.
that's very true, because I think in some point, because I don't let my granddaughter use that so much, but sometimes when have to do something really, you use 5 minutes, and yeah, we shouldn't do that, but I that is very important. Call the attention what the illustration are giving you and telling you. And I have a question. In the title of the book is a change agent. What is that? Can you tell me?
Yes. Well, the change agent is the one that is willing to accept everyone. The change agent is the one that they see something. You know how I was saying knowing and doing?
Mhm.
When I saw my fellow brethren, I know one day in going, just in driving, and it was really cold that particular day. And I saw homeless men and women where they were laying on the concrete. It was really cold. They were trying to cover with the little jacket that they had, and another didn't have anything. He was just laying flat on the concrete. I know this from looking with my own eyes and seeing that this is my fellow brethren. I don't know them personally, but I see this with my eyes. I see the woman where she's in the corner trying to stay warm the best she can with her arms and trying to put her shirt or whatever over her head. I know this from what I see, but what am I doing about it? How do I bring change? And that's what the change agent does. They come to know these things. They see these things. You don't know the solution for everything. We can't solve everything, but we can bring change to maybe one person. We can bring change to maybe two persons. We can bring change by, if we know these things, to let somebody else know and say, what can we do about it? If we're working together, you're one, I'm one, and we come together to bring change, then it's like, I can fix a sandwich. Okay, well, you fix the sandwiches, I can get some water, or I can get some juice. I can do something. You're one person, but you can still bring change.
Yeah.
Why is it that the person that you see there, you know they're suffering, but you walk by as if now they're just invisible? And
Yeah,
that's what the change agent does.
that is great, and thank you for that, because it's a lot of knowledge to pass along with the book, because it's you not only giving or lefting a legacy, but also the job that we all have to do with this book. And it has been a really good conversation, Roxane. I thank you for the time you take it, and we have been seeing a long time ago. But I thank you so much, and I'm so proud of you. And hopefully we can meet, with Sherry, Chacha, you together, and talk a little more, and just talk and conversate, and back to those days in class. So I thank you so much. We have few minutes, but I want to take the audience outside, and Happy New Year. I wish the best on 2024. We all have still time to fix things, to create things, to begin things, and reach out people that we left behind, and do so much in this year. Thank you so much for WCEG Network for giving us this platform where we have the opportunity to put out information for people around, and also to bring people and encourage people. And thank you for that. So I'm gonna see you next month. Please take care outside with this weather, until March, April. We hope, hopefully the weather is good, but if not, just be careful out there. Thank you so much.